I'm going to turn things over to Chief Andrew Baker for our 2021 activities report.
I've only got a couple pages.
Good evening, everybody. I'd like to welcome you to our 120th annual banquet. I'd like to start off by asking a few questions, and if anybody knows the answer, you can just holler it out. Why do firemen wear red suspenders?
Hold your pants up.
Exactly right. What were the two sons of the Mexican fireman named?
Jose and Jose.
Yeah, I'm glad everybody knows these. There's a bunch of dads here. All right, this one's a little shaky here, but we'll see how this goes. What is one of a firefighter's favorite words? I'll give you a hint. It starts with the letter F and ends with uck. It's obviously fire truck. And if you thought it was something else, you should probably go see our chaplain after this. All right, now that I've lightened the mood a little bit, on to the activity report. We ran a total of 320 calls in 2021. I will have to apologize. We've had a couple of turnovers in the office of secretary, and I don't have quite the information I normally have. Tim Dick has done an outstanding job so far to get things righted, and we'll get everything in order in the future. I know he's done a lot of work in the past couple of weeks, and I really appreciate that. The top 10 call responders are as follows. Please stand when called. Brad Hicks, Andrew Baker, Kevin Pettit, Blaine Pettit, Wes Walker, Danny Milton, C.W. Smith, Ross Helmenthaler, R.J. Helmenthaler, and Jacob Bowles. And for my retired membership, Tim Yancey. Timmy is obviously our day guy, but he also does a lot for us off the clock. He was actually number 2 on the list. Brad was number 1, I was number 2, and Timmy was right in between us. So we thank everybody for answering calls. It definitely takes a village. Under the direction of First Assistant Chief Al Fox, we spread the fire prevention message to the area's children and adults through programs at local schools and station visits. Under the direction of Second Assistant Chief Brad Hicks, we offered 145 hours of training, not including the required Firefighter 1 hazmat. We trained on topics such as Hurst tools, forcible entry, NIMS 300 and 400, firefighter CPR, basic pump operations, gas meter, 2 smokehouse live burns, truck 3 operations, the accountability system, SCBAs, and F500. The top 10 in training are as follows. Please stand. Brad Hicks, C.W. Smith, Blaine Pettit, T.J. Smallwood, Kevin Pettit, Shane Byer, Ross Helmenthaler, Andrew Baker, Jacob Bowles, and Lucas May. Our other working officers have been busy as well. Vehicle maintenance Captain 1 and Lieutenant 1 continues to increasingly get busier due to an aging fleet. Equipment readiness Captain 1 and Lieutenant 2, Captain 2 and Lieutenant 2, just like vehicle maintenance, aging equipment like SCBAs keep them on their toes. Not to mention meeting the needs of our members for gear and making sure we have the equipment that we need for our trucks. Water supply Captain and Lieutenant 3 have been flow testing and painting hydrants to match our water flow color system Also, they have started mapping hydrants in the Iron Responding app so we can have that information in the palm of our hand at a moment's notice. Radio Captain and Lieutenant Fuller have been working with implementation of our new radio system. Even though it is new and far better than what we had, it still comes with its challenges. The last 2 years have been a roller coaster. A lot of things have happened, some and probably a lot that we'd like to forget. That being said, we did have quite a few notable calls in the year of 2021. Call number 35, February 12th, 212 Spruce Street structure fire. The call went in right at 3 o'clock, so I was leaving work. As soon as we were towing, Mark Freely looked out the window at Eric's and gave a report of a working structure fire. Since I was in my work truck, I had Sarah bring my gear down the road. She actually dropped it off at the intersection as she was coming through to go to the station. Due to the time of day, we had a light crew on our first out truck. There's a lot of traffic around 3 o'clock in town. I'm sure all of y'all know that. And since Fridley had already assumed the role of command, I went in with fire attack. We were met with heavy fire on the first floor, and while we were searching for extension on the second floor, several firefighters were low on air. So we made the decision to back out. As we got to the bottom of the steps, we were met with a wall of fire and had to fight our way out of the house with crew members that were already low on air. Needless to say, it got a little hairy there for a little bit.
You ain't lying.
Yeah. Being in that position before, I know Mark was like a cat on a tin roof, walking around in the street. Call number 67, March 15th, 3012 Mallow Road, structure fire. A call went in for a small fire underneath the back porch. Upon arrival, we had heavy fire at the rear structure. The entire contents of the house was in the yard, and most of the house was empty. The house was not a total loss due to a quick knockdown. The state police fire investigator was called due to the circumstances. Call number 69, March 16th, structure fire, 3012 Mallow Road. Upon arrival, the house was fully involved. The state police responded, and to my knowledge, the fire is still under investigation. Call 71, March 21st, 1700 Midland Trail, structure fire. Upon arrival, we found an outbuilding damaged by fire. After a little investigation, it was found that a pig had knocked over a heat lamp and caught some straw on fire. Even as the city of Covington Fire Department, we still have those calls that sound like they come straight out of the backwoods of America.
Who caught the pig?
It was a fenced area. Call number 79, April 3rd. Trailer smoking next to the farmer's market. When we arrived, we found the farmer's market food trailer was smoking coming from an exhaust vent. The key holder was called but had a lengthy ETA, so we made the decision to break the lock on the door. Once we gained entry, we found a hole that had been burned in the floor and a smoldering fire on a set of wooden steps that were used to enter the trailer. The trailer hadn't been occupied for quite some time, and we believe there was a chemical reaction to some cleaning supplies within the trailer. Call number 187, August 5th, 1426 South Ashland Avenue, structure fire. This was a small, fully involved, vacant house. That doesn't seem like much, but this call gained some attention of a lot of people and even made the news. Officer Jacob Tolley entered the neighboring garage apartment and assisted the occupant to safety before the fire could trap her inside. The only access to her apartment was on the side of the vacant house, and it was in very close proximity. Probably about yay far away from her porch was the house. I'm sure a lot of people probably seen that on the news. Call number 285, November 4th. 2324 South Carpenter Drive, structure fire. As I was trying to mark en route on the dispatch channel, Lieutenant 3-4 Kevin Pettit marked on scene, gave his report, and requested mutual aid on the ops channel. Unknowingly, I had also requested mutual aid, but my request was a little slightly different. It may have sounded like we were butting heads, but it was just an instance where we had to learn the hard way how to kind of manipulate the new radio system, and it just that's how that went. I know Sarah was like, "Oh man, I bet you were fit to be tied when you got there." I said, "No, it was an honest mistake." Call number 316, December 5th, 706 West Fudge Street, possible structure fire. Christmas. Upon arrival, we had a heavy smoke condition throughout the house. After some investigation, we found the smoke was coming from a burnt plastic in the oven that the occupant was unaware that was in there when she turned it on to start Christmas dinner. Fortunately, that's all it was, and after we done our best to remove the smoke from the house, we could return to our families for Christmas. I'd like to thank the working and social officers for everything they've done for me and this department in the last year. Also, I would like to thank the firefighters. Without them, this organization will not stand on its own. To the city manager, Ms. Unitas, city council, public safety director and police chief, Chris Smith, employees of City Hall, thank you for everything you have done for me in this department. I look forward to continuing building on our already positive relationship. Thank you to the City Garage, Public Works. You're always willing to give us a hand when the time comes, as well as keep our trucks on the road. Also, law enforcement, city, county, state police. There it is. You have a thankless job and are always there when we need you. That's even more prevalent today. Thank you for that. Thank you to the Covington Rescue Squad, Covington EMS, Allegheny Fire and Rescue for being there and being there for us in our time of need. Finally, probably the biggest thank you of them all, our wives and significant others. Without your support and understanding, this community could not have the service that we provide. This new slate of officers has a lot of work ahead of them. I've already told them that. We had a meeting last week. In this term, we will put in service and replace all of our SCBAs and breathing air compressor. I also intend and hope I have council's support to replace our engine that is now 30 years old. Those are just a few of the big ticket items that we've already set. And we've also already set several smaller goals and projects to be completed in the near future. With everyone's support, I know we will achieve those and much more. And it seems like every day something else pops up and we'll roll with the punches and go from there. I'd like to thank everybody and glad everybody's here and glad we have a great turnout. Thank y'all.